everyone, it's Christy. Welcome to day 3 of my 2015 holiday card series. Today I'm coloring in an image by Crafter's Companion. This is from their Moonbeam Meadow line, and the stamp set is called Rudolph and Friends, and it features this adorable little reindeer and his 3 little friendly birds. And I'm just giving him an all-over wash of E51. And then I'm going in with E53 and giving him some shadows. And then I'm going to darken that up with some E55. Just kind of highlighting those deepest, darkest areas where the sun wouldn't shine. Not that there will be any sun shining in this scene, as it is going to be a nighttime scene, but you guys know what I mean. So now I'm just going back over those colors in the reverse with the E53 and then finishing with the E51 to blend everything in really nice. I just think this image is super, super adorable. And for his antlers, I'm using E50 and E51 just to give those a nice pale shade. And then I actually decided that I didn't like the color of the reindeer. He was a little too light for me. So I'm adding in some E57, just a really tiny bit of this marker just to kind of define his edges. And then I'll go ahead and blend that E57 back out, going back down with those markers that I used in the beginning, the E55 and the E53, and I'm just going to skip the E51 now. And then for his little bird friends, I wanted to color them to look like robins. So I'm adding in red bellies using my favorite red combo, which you guys have probably seen me use in videos, but it's R29, R39, and R59. Even though they're small, I like a lot of contrast, so I am going to go ahead and add all 3 of those colors. And then I'll just bring in that E57 and E55 once again to color the rest of the birds, giving them a little bit of a darker shade along their tail and the underside of their bodies, and then blending out with that E55. For the little leaves on his neck, I'm going to use G24 and then darken that with some G28. And I'll go ahead and use those same shades on the largest of the presents on the sleigh. And then for the next present, I'm going to go back with my red combo, the R29, R39, and R59. And then for the top present, I'm using C3 and C5. Just wanted to have a kind of gray tone. I decided to keep him a regular reindeer, so I'm using E29 and E27 to fill in his nose. And I'm going to use those same colors as well for the little sleigh. And I colored those ornaments in those same 4 shades as well. I really wanted to keep my color palette really simple on this card and then just let my shading shine. So now I'm starting with the background. I'm going to saturate the entire background with C0 just to get that ink on the paper so that the other colors will blend. I'm going to bring in some C3 and I will eventually also bring in some C5 along the bottom. And I'm just going to continue to work on that and blend the colors together. It does take quite a bit of ink. I had to stop and refill my C0 and C3 markers because they were a little dry for this technique. But it is totally worth it in the end. I got that gunmetal gray sky that I was going for, so I was really quite pleased. And now I'm just taking my colorless blender and dotting that over the snow so that it brings those back to white. To assemble our card, I'm going to begin by taking this birch tree pattern paper and adhering that to our card base with some Tombow Mono Multi Glue, and the card base is just craft cardstock. If you guys know me at all, you know I love birch trees so much. And then I'm going to take this snowflake pattern paper and add that over top as well. And then I'll just take some ribbon from my stash. I believe this was from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to wrap that around the card once. And then take some May Arts button twine and just tie the ends of that together. And I'll tie that into a little bow. And then I'm going to tug the little ends of the ribbon apart there and fluff them up a little bit and then just trim off the excess. All the pattern paper that I used on today's card was from the Cozy Lodge 6x6 by Recollections. So now I'm just going to grab my big massive roll of Scotch 3M foam tape. I love this stuff. And I'll add some of that to the back of my focal panel. And then I'm going to adhere that to the remaining piece of scalloped pattern paper. All my pattern paper was cut using the Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle and stitched scallop stackable dies. And then I'll just go ahead and adhere that to the card front. And then I'll just add my little sentiment that says Festive Fun from that same stamp set. And then I'm just taking a white gel pen and adding some polka dots to my gifts and a little bit of a shine mark to my 3 circle ornaments. And then I've got some enamel accents that I'm going to take the fine tip of my pick-me-up tool and just dab that onto the eyes of the reindeer and the birds. I'm going to trim the ends of my bow. They were just a little bit too long. And then as a final step, I'm going to take some glossy accents and I'm going to add that to the reindeer's nose and to the 3 ornaments that are hanging from his antlers and to the little berries that are on his throat there. And that completes our card for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.